A Distance Called Love, Chapter 2, A Pulse That Touched the Distance. Moving to WhatsApp felt like a step forward in a relationship that wasn't clear yet. But for me, it wasn't just about the app. It was a small gesture of trust from Ronnie, a man of few words who was slowly starting to let someone into his life. From the moment we started exchanging messages on WhatsApp, I immediately noticed one thing. Ronnie wasn't the type to write long messages. His messages were short, cool, and to the point. There were no small talk, no counter questions to open up deeper conversations. Sometimes even just emoticons. But he always answered calls. That was his way of communicating directly through voice. And from there, everything changed. Ronnie's voice on the phone was unlike his messages. It was deep, calm, and felt real. Every time we spoke, time seems to stop. We could spend 1, 2, or even 3 hours just talking about anything, about things I'd previously kept to myself. It was through this long conversation that I began to get to know him better. Ronnie worked at Walmart, a job he said he didn't really like. His schedule was irregular, his shifts changed frequently, and he often came home exhausted. Although he complained a lot about his job, he still performed his duties and responsibilities very well. He only spoke about it as if he were imparting a routine to someone he trusted. Then, another thing that made me smile, Ronnie was a true gamer. His favorite game, Resident Evil. Actually, the game's familiar to me because I played the same game before. But of course, not like him, who would play every version of it. The way Ronnie talked about it made it seem like the game was a part of his life. He passionately mentioned the game's characters, discussing about plot points, strategies, and even theories that only true gamers would understand. Sometimes I feel like I belong more in the game world than in this one, Ronnie said one night. I laughed. Do I have to play it too to understand you better? Well, maybe, but I doubt you would not survive even one level, Ronnie replied, teasing for the first time. Our laughter intertwined that night, straddling the thousands of kilometers between Collins, Texas, and Jakarta, Indonesia. Ronnie also told me about his little family, the dogs he kept. They were more than I could have imagined. He kept many of them at home. Their names sounded cute, unfamiliar, and difficult to spell, especially for me. But he knew them all by heart. He knew each other's voice, their eating habits, and how they show affection. To Ronnie, the dogs were family, true friends. I, on the other hand, couldn't help but laugh nervously because I'm afraid of animals. Even the sight of a dog from a distance can make me panic. The only animals I feel relatively safe with are cats. But strangely, hearing Ronnie talk about his dogs made that fear slowly fade. Maybe it's because he spoke with such genuine love. As the conversation progressed, A little secret began to emerge. Ronnie apparently lives in Collin, Texas. He rarely leaves the house except for work. His life is simple and drama-free. And when I ask, "Do you have a girlfriend?" he answered without hesitation, "No, I've been single for years." Ronnie said his last relationship was 7 years ago. No many ex, no many stories to tell. But he was also honest that I wasn't the first Indonesian he would been close to. There had been others, some communication, even leading to a serious relationship. But then it all fizzled out. But one thing he was sure that from there, he became interested in learning more about Indonesia and want to visit. And I was very happy and enthusiastic to hear that. In the midst of increasingly intense conversation, I often felt insecure because my English wasn't perfect. Sometimes it was messy, sometimes too stiff, but Ronnie listened. Sometimes he would correct me gently, sometimes he would just laugh softly when I said a word with a funny accent. But I didn't give up. I want to be able to speak fluently, not just because he was from America, but because I want to be able to convey everything I felt without language barriers. And that was the form of his love, the struggle to be understood. Our nights were filled with places, with laughter, with comfortable silence. I began to realize that even though we never touched, never saw each other's face, there was an intimacy growing from the frequency of our places greeting each other. And beneath it all, a feeling grew that hadn't been up into words.